In this video, I'm going to show you how to maintain your water pick handheld shower head so that everything works smoothly. The buttons for the diverter work smoothly, and that you keep hard water deposits and also black moldy slime out of the unit. And you want to do this about every 6 months or sooner, depending on how it is in your state or area. In Hawaii, it's quite warm, so we do have the black slime that often shows up, so we want to take care of that. But we also want to make sure that these nozzles are nice and clear so that we get a good spray and massage. And that's what we're going to be doing. So the first thing we're going to do is take it off the hose, and then make sure that you don't lose the washer. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pour about 4 tablespoons of regular household bleach into about 2.5 cups of water. This is to take care of any mold that might have grown in the unit. Notice I'm wearing gloves, and I'm using a recycled yogurt container. Take the shower head, put it in the yogurt container, and then I'm going to slowly pour the bleach solution into the shower head. I'm going to let it seep through the holes and through the entire unit. Then once that goes through,
I fill the yogurt container up with the bleach and water solution.
this shower head was actually looking pretty good because I have been maintaining it. But if yours is really moldy, like when I first got this, you're going to want to let this soak for about 15 minutes in this bleach and water solution, and that should kill any of the mold. This is something that you probably want to do every, like I said, 6 months or whenever you need to do it, whenever you see any signs of mold. Next, thoroughly rinse out your shower head with water. You want to remove all of this water and bleach solution thoroughly before you go on to the next stage. And this should have taken care of any mold that might have been growing inside of the shower head. And also that might have gotten into the little holes.
That is mold. Then I completely rinse the yogurt container out so that there's no more bleach solution in it. Then I put the shower head into the yogurt container, and using distilled white vinegar, I fill the container and completely cover the shower head, and then let this stand for about 3 hours. There are other types of cleaners out on the market, but the distilled white vinegar is very effective and very inexpensive.
After 3 hours, it should be pretty clean. But I do a few more steps, and one of those is to take a little bit of baking soda, and then using the vinegar that I have, I take a brush or could be a toothbrush, and I make a paste. And I go in there and I start scrubbing that area, cleaning as much as I can. Just take your fingers and kind of bend and try to dislodge anything in these little rubber nozzles. They actually make these little nozzles out of rubber so it's easier to clean and break away any deposits. Baking soda works really good with the vinegar. You can also take a toothpick or what I use, a dental pick that you can pick up at the drugstore, and just go through, and if you see anything that is stuck anywhere, just dislodge it. So yeah, just go around, just check and make sure all these holes or little nozzles are nice and clear. And like I said, you can use toothpicks too, whatever you have. So that's looking pretty good. Then what you want to do is, again, rinse it off really well in water. And as you can see, that this is about 2 years old, and these methods don't seem to mar this. You might want to test your own, maybe a little bit of bleach here and there, but I've had no problem. This is how I do it. If you have another type of a shower head, I'm sure this works with just about them all. Push the little diverter button, make sure that you're able to rinse everything out. So it's looking pretty good. Okay, there's one more thing that I do. The other maintenance step that I do on my shower head is I lubricate this button. This is a diverter button, and what it does is that it turns the flow almost off, and it can get really stuck. In fact, the first time I serviced it, it was just almost impossible to move. So what I do is just very carefully pull this little rubber protector back. You can see it in there. Same with the other side. You just gently pull this little rubber cover. And there's the button. And then what I do is I've got vegetable oil in here. And I just pour a little bit in over that little mechanism. Kind of rub it around. Pour a little bit on this side, a couple teaspoons, maybe, not even that much, just a few drops. Then I put this rubber back. Then I just work that back and forth. And that seems to keep this little button nice and smooth. In fact, I do this every few weeks. And now what I do is just take a little bit of thread seal tape, wrap that around the threads. And then I make sure that the threads inside the hose are clean. And I put the gasket back in, and then screw it in. And then I test it out, make sure that the button's easy to slide and that all of the jets are spraying. And that's about it. So if you do this every 6 months or so, your unit should work for years and look good. In this video, I'm going to show you how to maintain your water pick handheld shower head so that everything works smoothly. The buttons for the diverter work smoothly, and that you keep hard water deposits and also black moldy slime out of the unit. And you want to do this about every 6 months or sooner, depending on how it is in your state or area. In Hawaii, it's quite warm, so we do have the black slime that often shows up, so we want to take care of that. But we also want to make sure that these nozzles are nice and clear so that we get a good spray and massage. And that's what we're going to be doing. So the first thing we're going to do is take it off the hose, and then make sure that you